poems, and we've got a couple here that we've had sent in that we're going to read out for you guys. And Mitchell, you're going to start. You're going to read the first one from Tony Byrne.
Yes, he's hit us with another one, boys. So this one's called The Road to Redemption. Beneath the sterile light so stark, with boots discarded, dreams in the dark, the cowboy lies, his body bent, a fight within, his courage spent. The echoes of the arena once filled his heart, now whispers haunt his quiet bed. Our fails and shadows, fears unsaid, his body beaten, stitched and sore. Recall the wreck, the beasts uproar, the dirt, the rush, the fleeting fight, now traded for this lonesome night. Am I done? His mind does cry. Has the fire burnt out? Has the chance flown by? The buckle gleams so far away, a distant dream, a fading ray. Yet in the stillness, a fire is born, a spark ignites through pain and scorn. I am cowboy, fear be damned. I'll raise again, my fate is planned. The thoughts of failure, death, they lose their grip. He steals his soul, his heart equips. For cowboy's blood runs wild and true, through storms they ride, to skies of blue. His cast aside, the nagging dread, the weight of doubt that clouds his head. For destiny calls, bold and bright, the buckle waits within his sight. So through the recovery and healing hands, he dreams of humps, horns, dirt, and sand. The beast will roar, the crowd will cheer, when cowboy's grit defeats the fear. When he returns with hope anew, the buckle's shine will find his hue. For cowboys who fall, but from adversity they rise, forever chasing that shiny gold prize.
I tell you what, Tony's poems are getting better and better and
Oh,
better.
yeah. He's like a fine wine. He just keeps aging well.
Yeah, and I just find every time that he writes in a poem, sends in a poem, I just they're just getting everything that he's doing. I think is just he's starting to mend his own, I suppose, poetry together.
Yeah.
I think that's just becoming better and better and better. I really like listening to his poems.
Yeah, that one was unreal, and we can all relate to that.
Yeah, and the way that he's delivering these poems too, like writing them.
How good would it be sitting around a campfire this time of night with him though, like ripping out the old poem book?
Yeah.
He is just smashing it, and then him just sitting down, just like I'm sure there's a couple that he hasn't sent through that are just hiding away in his little book. Like
He'd have old swag of them.
That's what it's all about, though.
Yeah.
Like you see people that write songs and they pull out a guitar around a fire.
I was just
right?
about to say that.
But
the poetry or the guitar.
Some people might not have that talent, and they write a poem. And like Tony, for instance, you put him in a notebook and you're sitting around a fire on a cold winter's night with a rum in hand or whatever, water, whatever you're into, and just reading some poems. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes for great nights rather than going out carrying on like idiots
Yeah,
and hitting the
100%.
clubs. You can just sit back and share some stories and, you know, on stories on how that those poems were sort of brought to mind to end up on paper and all that jazz.
Yeah, give your point of view on experiences you've had, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And we've had another poem wrote in too. So this one's from Luke Harris. Now, Luke has said, "Hey boys, it's Luke here from down in Mexico, aka Victoria. Got a poem for you boys. Could not find the call line, but it is called A Man Dies. So the
Good on you,
call
Luke.
line has been scrapped. So if you do want to get a hold of us, send a voicemail into our emails or into our socials inboxes, and we will open them and find them and save that audio as well. Or if you just want to write in to us, that's where you can grab us as well. So it goes, a man doesn't die when he jumps or bleeds or swallows the bottle whole. He dies staring at a dinner made for one. He dies in grocery aisles staring too long at things meant for two. He dies when his hours are worth 15 each and nothing else matters other than his vices and his beers. He dies waiting for a mother's hug and a father's smile. He dies hoping, longing for a fleeting memory of a fading warmth. He dies waiting for love not knowing he could have given some to himself. So he sent a message after this too and said, "Hope you boys see this. Love the work. Keep it up. Hope this helps put a light on mental health because I nearly lost a mate to suicide. He hung himself but we cut him down in time and he survived. And I tried to take my own life too with the struggles of working my ass off to get things that other people just got handed to them and all the bullshit that I've been thrown. My mate was 20 when he tried and I was 18. Sorry, put it down on a Ripper podcast, but you can speak about this story on a higher platform. So,
Holy, Luke, mate, I take my hat off to you, brother. That's that's hit me hard.
yeah, it's one thing that really stood out to me is he dies waiting for a mother's hug and a father's smile. And I think that's like sort of a lot of people can relate to, like trying to do your best, especially in like your father's eyes. And if you got them like sort of old school, them hard fathers and that don't really give too many compliments, that you can take that in a way.
Well, sometimes, like when you're in that scenario, or you got your defenses up because everything hurts. You know what I mean? So sometimes all you need is a hey mate or a smile or a how you going. So, that's a ripper, man.
And I think it's really fitting for the conversation that we had earlier with the whole Slater saga and that, that like you never know what anyone's going through.
Exactly.
You know,
right.
and
Everyone's fighting a battle. So all you can do is be the best person you can be, and you might be that smile that saves someone one day.
Oh, 100%. And like we said, you don't ever know what someone's going through. And I think there's a lot in that poem there that, if there's just people that just are feeling alone, having the dinner for one, waiting for their father's smile, hug from their mother, or, waiting for love, then people that just don't feel like they're ever going to find it or whatnot. All them things are factors that create a downer. So I think that was actually a very powerful message, and it's a poem in a sort of a different way that we haven't heard. Mitchell, you tried your hand at sort of a poem like that as well, and they're hard. Those sort of poems are hard to write, but I think when you can put pen to paper like Luke did, it's a powerful message.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
I think I think he's hit the nail there. Like when Adzi was on here, Adam Stringer was on here talking about his poems and stuff, he was saying he only writes them when he writes them from the heart. And the amount of poems that man's written, he said the first one he wrote was the other day that he wasn't in tears, right, and he was actually happy. Like you can tell that poem was from the heart. And mate, Luke smashed it. Like he brought out an unreal poem. Yeah, and I believe everyone can relate to it in some sort of way. So good on you, mate. You done a ripper one there. So
good on him for sharing that too, because that would have been hard enough. Like,
and I just like how powerful that message is. Like just even when I'm sitting here looking back at it, at the words in it, like, a man doesn't die when he jumps or bleeds or swallows a bottle whole. And how true is that? That's not when he's died. He's already dead before that.
Yeah.
When he's dying, is those little factors that are there beforehand, like he said, staring at a dinner made for one.
It just goes to show, reach out to a mate.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.